Sakura-san came in the kitchen when I was preparing breakfast. Good morning, Sakura-san. Well, it's still winter for sure. I knew you'd say that, so I handed her a cup of hot chocolate that I had prepared for her. It'll keep you warm.
Yoshiyuki-kun ってば、いつからそんなに気が利くようになったの?
Well, actually, I've been like this since I was born.
そういうことにしといてあげるね。じゃ、いただきます。
You know, the first thing I did when I came out, I was like, I gave my mother a cup of like hot chocolate. It was beautiful. Don't rush, it's really hot, so be careful. I laid out the breakfast dishes.
Yoshiyuki-kun, ふうふうして。
Huh? Is she a child?
して。
Okay. I boil on the hot chocolate to cool it. But I didn't think it'd really cool it just by blowing it to it. Here, it's done. Sakura-san carefully sipped the hot chocolate while cooling it herself. She looked happy. You know what's better? I know, getting off subject a little, but what do you think is better? The feeling of being cooled down when it's incredibly hot, or being warmed up when it's incredibly cold? Which do you think is better? Her face looked like it was almost melting in joy, then I suddenly remembered Manatsu's face. Did Sakura-san hear about the situation? How would the school handle it? Should I ask her about it? Wait. No. I didn't think it'd be a good idea to go stirring things up. Maybe I should wait until the student council decides what to do. I faked a smile. Anyway, you should get dressed. I'll head to school right after I finish breakfast.
Hi.
Sakura-san gave back a wimpy response. Did she really get it? I saw Manatu at the crossing point on our way to school. Manatu found me and rushed over to me. She was holding something in her hand. It was a huge paper bag. Hey. Minatsu beamed from ear to ear. You can barely see her ears, though. Well, we can, sort of. Minatsu suddenly started smiling. If I was an anime character, my, character would, have pretty much invisible ears because the hair would be covering it. Applies the same way in real life. My ears are hidden for the most part, which is weird because out of the senses of sight, smell, and hearing and all that, I feel I have a better sense of hearing than the other two. What is it? You're being weird. It's because he suddenly started smiling. I was confused. Was she serious? Fun? I've gone through some bad stuff lately. Manatsu nodded. Nice. See that she sees the bright side of it. She looked at the paper bag she was holding.
以前のMinatsuはな、学園に登校する意味などまるでないと思っていた。人間たちの慣れ合いを見るのはバカバカしいと思っていたのだ。だがな、最近それも悪くないと思うようになってきた。貴様や夢、アンズ先輩たちのおかげだな。
I see. I nodded. I didn't feel bad about it.
まあ、Minatsuと慣れ合おうなんて物好きな人間は ごくごく限られているみたいだけどな。
Manatu smiled. She was stronger than I thought.
なんだか眠くなってきちゃった。
Akane leaned over her desk and moaned. We still have afternoon classes.
昼休みのうちに寝とこうかな。
You can sleep instead of eating.
そうだった。ご飯ご飯。
You'll be like a sim, you'll fall asleep while eating. Akane smiled wryly and took out her lunchbox. Alright, maybe I should hit the cafeteria.
ダメです。
I suddenly heard the class president's voice.
だから遠慮してほしいって言ってるの。
She seemed to be talking to somebody in the hallway. Oh, I wonder who it could be.
どうしてもそもそも他のクラスの子がそう頻繁に来るのも。ええ、そうよ。え、うん、それは別に構わないけど、恨まないでちょうだいね。なんだろうね。
I don't know. After talking to somebody, the class president turned around and looked at me.
桜井、
She walked to me. Me?
これ。
She handed me a paper bag. The bag looked familiar.
天笠さんがあなたにって。
Of course. I saw Manatu holding this. I found a lunchbox in the bag.
お弁当箱。確かに渡したからね。
Did you drive her away?
何よ。悪い。
I couldn't help a big sigh.
別にあの子がロボットだからと。うん、そういうのもあるけど、でももともと他の教室で食べるなんて。
I don't remember you making like this much of a fuss when Nanaka came to the classroom a lot. It's unethical.
ともかくこのクラスにだってまだ知らない子たちはいるけど、知ったらいい思いをしない人だっているんだし、私は気を使って。
She tried to sound legit, but I clearly sensed her hatred against robots. Enough, I get it.
何よ。
Akane, I'm stepping out for a moment.
よしゆきくん、追ってきなさい。ちょっと無視しないでよ。
I have nothing to talk to you about.
沢井さんってば最低。
Oh.
私が悪者なわけ？
See you later. Man, that was... I wasn't expecting that there. I rushed out of the classroom clenching the lunch Minatsu made in my hand. On the way, I asked some students which direction Minatsu was headed and got to the shoe locker area. You know, the class president doesn't actually have a round this, but in one of the expanded versions of it... Are there multiple versions, or is there just two versions of this game? I don't know. But apparently she has a route in one of those, like the expanded version. But I'm not sure how that goes. But from, like, what we've known of her so far, she clearly hates robots. And it probably gets explained in her route, which we won't see because we're playing the original Capo 2. On the way, I asked some students which direction Manatu was headed and got to the shoe locker area. Ah! Had a glimpse of Minatsu outside. Oh wait, no, it's more of a... It seemed that she was heading to the courtyard. Bella later when I got to the courtyard, Minatsu was sitting there and reading something. Isn't that Harimo? I was wondering when they're gonna bring up the whole liking dogs thing.
どうだ、ジロー。
Although, it looks less like a dog and more like, as I said before, like a dango. Maybe it's like some kind of Pokemon. I think I've said that before. Harimo didn't seem to mind being called Jiro, and he was wagging his tail. He seemed to know how to get along.
そうかそうか。ならもっと食べろ。
Harimo munched on Manatsu's lunch.
いい食いっぷりだな。みなつの友達にもお前に匹敵するくらい食い意地の張ってるやつがいてな。
Could that friend be me? I spoke to her from behind.
誰かと思ったら義行か。噂をすれば影ってやつだな。
I showed her the paper bag the class president had handed me. Since he made and brought lunch for me, I wanted to eat it with you.
奇遇だな。みなつもそう思っていたところだ。
You know, they say that dog is man's best friend. And it's kind of true in a way. This is a bit off subject. But also, there's one noticeable thing about dogs that makes them not so much man's best friend at times is when food is involved. You'd be like, you could just be eating like that and you just be looking at you with those puppy dog eyes. And then they will be mischievous and like the second you turn away, you stupid dog, you ate my food! What did you do that for? It's like the equivalent of having one of those type of friends that just comes to your house and raids your fridge without asking. That's pretty much what it is. We sat on the bench in the courtyard and started eating lunch together.
そっか。ちょくちょく見かけると思ったら、こいつは園長の飼い犬だったのか。
Minatsu mumbled while stroking Harimo's head. His giant head and his tiny body. Did she like dogs? Well, I wasn't sure if Harimo was really a dog anyway. Anyhow, I heaved a sigh. Why did you leave so easily? If it was a while ago, she would have argued with the class president.
あそこでごねてもしょうがないだろ。不快な思いをさせてまで中に入ろうとは思わないし。それに無理をして中に入れば義行やアンツ先輩たちに迷惑がかかってしまう。
Oh no, we wouldn't care.
それに沢井にだって迷惑がかかるだろう。沢井は委員長としての役目をきちんと全うしたのだから。
Certainly it wasn't recommended that a student from another class stayed in a class they didn't belong to. It was just a tactic rule, no punishment would be permitted even if somebody did that. It was certain that the class president didn't want to let a robot in the classroom. Even though she said she tried to avoid trouble, her decision was clearly based on her prejudice. Obviously something has happened in her past that has affected her view of robots, is my guess. I was sure Manatu would know that even so. Then I recalled that what Manatu said this morning.
確かに嫌なことも増えたかもしれないが、それよりも嬉しいことが増えた。楽しいことが増えた。そう思ったのだ。
She was making an effort to view things positively, I felt that. So I responded to her just as I felt. Even so, she was just a little too hard on you.
義行は気にしすぎるのだ。もう少し楽にした方がいいぞ。以前のみなつみたいだ。ほらほら、そんな顔してないで、さっさと飯を食え。
You're right. Harimo nuzzled around my legs. Oh, you want some too? See, I told you, man. Just like with dogs, just like they're all like, we will never judge you. We will accept you for who you are. But could you toss us some of your food, please? I mean, I'm a dog person, but you can't deny it, man. When there's food around, the dogs will just like kind of sit there or stand there just like jumping up at you. In the case of one of our dogs, he literally jumps at you. If I was a short person, like shorter, like just like a few inches shorter, I'd have to hold it above my head, a plate and all that, so he wouldn't jump at it. He jumps pretty high. He's a pretty big dog. He's a Labrador, golden retriever, you know. And then the other dog, who is also incredibly greedy, is like very mischievous dog. Like, for example, if my mother leaves her room and goes to the toilet or something like that, She will literally go into the room and be at the cat food. It's just like, you sneaky! And like, there's one cupboards that we've got that you used to store the food in, and like the door's really hard to close, and they'd always, as soon as nobody was watching, would creep around, open the door, and get the food out. Just like, you smart little bastards.
正直なやつだな。ほれ食え、ハリマ。
We all ate together, sharing food. Never underestimate a dog's will to eat a lot of shit. Literally in some cases. It baffles me and everyone else. After school, I saw Manatu by the shoe lockers. It's when you really think about it, dogs like have an incredible sense of smell, but their taste must be pretty crap. Literally.
Yeah.
Manatu. I suspected that somebody must have pulled a prank again, so I checked her shoe locker right away. But her shoes were there and there were no thumbtacks in them.
今日は大丈夫だよ。
I thought,
別に靴にいたずらされたからここにいたわけではない。義行を待っていたのだ。
waiting for me?
一緒に帰ろうと思って。
Okay. I felt relieved.
心配性だな。
Tell me about it. Why didn't you come to my classroom if you wanted to see me?
ああ、それも考えたのだが、そうすると貴様やアンツ先輩に心配をかけることになるだろう。
I don't think so.
それに沢井の気を揉ませるのも忍びない。
I see.
まあここで待っていても義行は必ず来るのだから問題はあるまい。
Well, I guess you're right, but I felt a bit frustrated. But just convincing the class president wouldn't be enough. What should I do?
いつまでもここにいてもしょうがない。さっさと帰ろう。
Yeah. And so they did. Minatsu and I were walking in the falling cherry blossom petals. Some students turned around to give us a glare when they passed us, but we didn't pay attention. What the hell, man? It's really bugging me now. I mean, this is like, I don't know, the same thing, kind of like the same attitude towards people applies with, say, people like of a different race, people's like sexual orientation, things like that. Or their interests, like if someone's like a nerd, just like, oh, nerd, and all that shit. You just like kind of group these people and just look down on them. It's just pisses me off, man. I think you're a good person, Manatu. I might have surprised Manatu by saying that all of a sudden.
なんだよ、やぶから棒に。
I can't allow a good person to be treated unfairly.
義行。
You don't do anything wrong, right? Then why aren't you allowed to eat with me? Why do you have to suffer those wicked pranks? Why do all the students avoid you? It was Minatsu who was supposed to be suffering the situation. But I gripped as if I was the one suffering. Maybe that wasn't appropriate, but I couldn't help it. Minatsu smiled faintly and heaved a sigh as if she was amazed.
まあ、そういう時代だからな。
She almost sounded like she was an enlightened person that made me sad. Are you really okay with this?
正直さ、港にこういう考え方ができるなんて今まで思ってもみなかったんだけどな。港は人間を嫌悪していた。内心では蔑んでいた。もっと言うなら憎んでたと言ってしまっても過言じゃなかった。だから義行が勝手に港を起動した時は怒りすら覚えた。
Sorry about that. I'm sorry I accidentally skipped it there. Minatsu smiled and shook her head.
人間たちと同じ時間と空間を共有しなければならなくなって正直めまいがした。
Well, I did it again. Sorry.
義行、貴様をはじめとして アンズ先輩、ユメ、それに一緒にスキーに行った連中。そんな連中を見て、ミナツは考えを改めたのだ。人間という種が汚いのではない。立場によって、環境によって、人間とはどうとでもなるのだ。人類に罪があるわけではない。もちろん、人間たちが過去において、ミナツの仲間たちにしたひどい仕打ちは忘れない。だからといって、人類全体を憎むというのは間違っている。
Pat on the head. That sounds right, but you're being abused right now.
だから言ってるじゃないか。時代が悪いんだって。時代が変われば、人とロボットは共存できるようになると思う。
You know, I wonder if such a day will occur in real life. I mean, like, we got robots, they're just not quite this kind of robot. But you never know. Someday they may create robots that are highly more advanced, and then they'll probably regret it in some way. Because if they don't, like, add, like, emotions or anything like that, well, actually, what would be worse? Building highly advanced robots that can kind of, like, think for themselves but have no emotion, so they will mercilessly just freaking overtake humanity, or the ones that have emotions and could, but might not, because they'll have emotions, just be like, no man, this is wrong, and while all the robots be like, no, we must, look at all the shit they put us through, we shall rule now. It's like, but that'd be wrong, you'd just be doing the same as they did to us, just like, I don't care. It's like, and then you'd have like split sides of robots, just like, the robots that want to enslave humanity, and the ones like, no man, chill. These humans call this marijuana, take this, you'll feel more chill and relaxed, man. I'm a robot, you stupid fool. Holy shit, it actually works. That'd be weird.
ヨシユキたちみたいな人間はもっと増えると思うんだ。この認識、間違っていると思うか？甘いと思うか？
No. I shook my head. I don't think that kind of people would naturally multiply, but do I think we should make an effort? Do I think we should make an effort towards that? She nodded slowly as if she'd been expecting that answer.
ミナツは思うのだ。ヨシユキがミナツを起動したのは偶然ではない。
Oops. Manatu.
ミナツはな、ヨシユキ。人間とロボットをつなぐ架け橋になりたいのだ。人とロボットが共同で楽しい学園生活を送れるような、そんな時代を作るための架け橋にな。
Sounds so bizarre, really, doesn't it? But then, in this world, in this novel here, the setting, very different. I see. I had no idea she was thinking that deeply. I felt ashamed because I was only thinking about near future. I really wanted to support her dream because that was what I would want as well. Really, when you think about it though, if robots became advanced and all that, you'd pretty much have the same issues really in real life. They'd be like, but it's a robot, what the fuck's that robot doing in our school? It's a robot, it's not human. You even give a robot emotions, just like, it doesn't have emotions. It does. No, it doesn't, it's a robot. I could totally imagine the same shitty scenario in real life.
ヨシユキはミナツのことをいろいろと気にかけてくれる。だからヨシユキにも。
She trailed off. The cherry blossom petals kept falling between her and me. I'll support you as much as I can. You'll be the bridge from the robot side and I'll be the one from the human side. Was it gonna be like one of those scenarios where when there's a conflict between two countries, kingdoms, all that, and they like marry from one to another, just like, okay, so this brings us together. We will no longer fight because of this, right? That's pretty weird in this scenario, though. Someday both sides would connect like a drawbridge. I imagined that for a moment.
ヨシユキ。
She smiled and then looked stiff. What's wrong?
いや、どうしてヨシユ 時はそこまでMinatsuのことを気にかけてくれるのだ。思わず誤解しそうになる。
The wrong idea?
いや、なんでもない。聞かなかったことにしてくれ。
The reason why I cared about her so much? I knew the answer. I never clearly expressed this particular feeling towards her, and I felt that it was a very precious thing. You know,
なんだ？
I don't know what makes you think it's a wrong idea, but I don't think it's a wrong idea. I started opening up.
どういう風に誤解じゃないんだ？
She couldn't seem to fix her eyes on one place. The reason why I care about you is...
かけるのは？
It's because I love you. I don't need any other reason, do I? She fell silent for a while. Since there were no people around, I felt as if there were only two of us in this shower of cherry blossom petals. Eventually, Manatu opened her mouth with determination.
奇遇だな。MinatsuもYoshiyukiのことが嫌いではない。Minatsuを好きだと言うなら考えてやらんこともない。
You're not being very honest.
Minatsu の人工知能はこのような状況でどう対応すべきか教育されていないんだ。仕方なかろう。
You could just say, I'm so happy I love you too, or something like that. She choked on her words. Whatever. Malfunctioning, then I realized that smoke was rising from her ears. Whoa, okay, stop, you don't have to force it now. I rushed to her. It is pretty weird, you know, to confess your love to a robot, but whatever. Then she was about to fall to her knees, so I held her. Looks like the smoke is gone.
この格好のままだとまた煙が出そうだ。
Don't worry, you'll get used to it this soon. I put my arms around her back.
本当だ。なぜか落ち着く。
Whoops. I guess you're equipped with a relax by my caress function.
バカ者。
I wonder whatever happened to Banana Min.
そのうち言えるようになると思うから待っててくれ。
Take your time.
よろしく頼む。
I was half awake watching the TV morning show. Most of the news was about strange accidents. The announcer and the commentator were making shady comments about them. I didn't feel like these morning shows were my cup of tea.
兄さん、朝ごはんの支度できたよ。
That's another thing about the news, is the announcers and all that. They'll like go on about these tragedies with a smile on their face and complete indifference. It's like, oh, such a tragedy. 7 people killed in an explosion. Smile. And then we'll just go on laughing about some other subjects. Just like, hey, don't judge us. We're just doing our job. We're just telling you these things. I mean, it's all tragic and all that, but shit happens, you know. Where's my cup of tea? You know, it was rare, but it was Yume's turn to cook this morning. The only thing was, the recipes she could cook were very limited. But I got to enjoy a relaxing morning thanks to her. Okay, I'm coming. After a huge yawn, I entered the living room. Akane was already sitting at the kotatsu. Our breakfast consisted of toast, coffee, and instant miso soup, just as I expected. Oh, it's Sakura-san.
さくらさん、なんだか用事があるって言って出てっちゃったよ。
Whenever she has something urgent to do, I become more and more suspicious that what she's doing is probably something important that we will not discover until her route, which will be the end of the LP, because That's unlocked after completing all the other routes. So I assume anyway, I remember a comment that was like saying, "Oh, so that's what she's doing," but didn't reveal what it was. Good, good. Don't spoil it for me. But it does make me think just like, yes, she's up to something, but I don't know what. It's intriguing. Maybe it's work.
今日
Maybe it's
雪降
plot.
ってるから大変そうだよね。
Natane was damn right. She should have eaten breakfast at least. Well, she was a busy person anyway.
じゃあいただきましょう。
Yeah.
お客さん見てこようか。
No, I'll do it. You can go ahead and eat. A moment. As I thought. Been recording an hour or so. Wait, no. It wouldn't be an hour with the editing. But still, it should be at least maybe 2 parts like it usually is, so I think I'll call it a party here. So, leave on the cliffhanger. Who's at the door? I'll answer it next time. So I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.